Well, welcome back to Batty Bloomers. I haven't made a video in a while, just because I've been really busy in the garden. And so I figured I should make a video. And one of the things I was noticing as I'm looking at this really weedy patch, it's not all weeds, but there are a lot of weeds, and there's a lot of plants that are not where they should be. They're kind of in the path. But what I wanted to show you is that plants are amazing, and they decide to give you more plants on their own. Like, for example, I planted strawberries, and they've decided to take over the path. Now I have to move those so we can walk through the path and not smash the strawberries. But I'll wait till after the strawberries ripen. That way I don't kill the strawberries that are coming there. Another thing are these oxeye daisies, which I'm sure some would consider a weed, but they're so pretty. And they spread readily, as you can see. And there's one up there in the path. There's one there. They're just everywhere. And they're easy enough to either pull out, or when they're ready to go to seed, you chop them back. Because the plant will die. I think they're a biennial. So they'll come up the first year and just be a little green tuft. I don't know if I can see any that I could show you that are just in their first year, because these all here are in their second year. They're getting ready to bloom. So their first year they come up and be just a little tuft of green. The second year they get nice and big and bloom for you, and then they're going to seed themselves, and then they're going to die, but then they've seeded and given you more. So you know, if you can either rip the plant out after it's bloomed before it goes to seed, and then it won't reseed itself. I like some reseeding, and then if there's too many, you just dig them out or move them or whatever. Anyway, all that to say, they volunteer themselves happily. Let's see, another thing I noticed that volunteered itself is right here. This is oh, now I'm drawing a blank. I know what it is. Euphorbia, that's what it is. And my sister gave me a patch or two of this from her garden, and I'm noticing it's coming up everywhere. This is not where I planted it. So it came up here. I feel like there's a little one around here somewhere. I don't know. I know I've seen, oh, there's a bunch over there. There's like 1, 2, 3, and the original patches are over there. That there, and that there is a patch of it. But they've just freely reseeded themselves, and I'll take it, no problem. I just need to move them and put them where I want them. Another thing I've had reseed, which I never had happen before, is perennial salvia. I have, these three, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe, right here. I have perennial salvia, and that is those 2 patches there where the original plant was. So these reseeded themselves, and also there's one here, a little one. So that's really exciting. Another thing that I saw reseeded itself happily is Verbena bonariensis. Here's one, there's one, and actually they're not supposed to be hardy where we live. We're in 6B, zone 6B. So the original plant is not supposed to be hardy, but I have original plants, I don't know if you can see it right there, that has been there for years now, that keeps coming back. And I love that stuff. Now, like I said, you have to put it where, you have to move it where you want it, because they just come up everywhere. Here's another one, a bigger one, that I'm pretty sure, oh yeah, maybe I did plant it here. So that's one that lived, because here's the old stick. Oh, and look, there's another salvia. That is so awesome. And there's another verbena. So that's exciting. It's like little treasures in the garden. And then these cardoons, which is a type of artichoke, I guess. They're not supposed to live here. They're supposed to be hardy in a zone 7. Now we're almost a zone 7, but I bought these cardoons years ago as teeny little starts. So I bought this one and I bought that one. And they were so pretty, and I was so happy that the year after that I had planted that they came back. I was like, oh yay, they came back. And then I started getting sick of them. I'm like, oh, well, they'll probably die, so I can put something else there, and they just keep coming back. These are the two original, that one there and this one here. And they just keep coming back, and they reseed themselves. And that can be kind of a pain, because look at that giant one there that reseeded itself, and then there's a smaller one. And then I just saw a teeny tiny one over here, little seedling. So they're happy here. They like it here. Let's see, what else reseeds itself happily? Here we have what I believe is a wild rose, which I wish I could leave them go, but they will take over. So sadly I can't leave it, because I like wild roses, but it just, you have to, you know, be careful. And there's another one here, wild rose. So that's something that I kind of wish I could leave, but I'm pretty sure I can't. If I had more property and I had some spot way away from my gardens that I could put them and just let them be happy there, I would, but I don't really have that luxury. So yeah, so your garden can be a place for plants to volunteer, and it's great because then you have all these plants for free, and you just have to be artistic, wise, I don't know what the word is, about where you put them. And so that's just exciting, and I thought I would share that with you. And I'll quick show you some things I've been working on in the garden here. It's a mess down here. I am trying to break my gardens up into zones, because sometimes I look at the whole thing and go, oh my word, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know where to start, and then I don't start. So rather than getting overwhelmed, I'm going to make it into zones and not worry about the mess that's on the other side or whatever. Just focus on, you know, what I can get done. And then I think I will get it done if I just take a chunk at a time and just focus. Focusing is the big thing. So you can see the wet spots here. I just got ordered blue daisy anemones, and I don't have a picture of them. And I'm not tech savvy, so I can't even like put a picture up for you. Maybe someday I'll learn how to do that. But look it up if you want to know. They're so pretty. They're like a blue daisy, not with the thin petals. They're thicker petals, kind of like the shape of my fingers. And then they have a black center. And they're the coolest thing ever. And I finally saw someone sale in a magazine or somewhere, and I'm like, I have to have those. So I bought 45. And they're these little gnarly, just gnarly, hard things that you would think that aren't even alive. So I planted them in like a swath right in here, because this is supposed to be my blue garden. And I've tried delphinium in here forever. They don't like it here, so I have lots of delphinium started from seed, which you've seen if you've watched those videos. I'm gonna have to find a different spot for them because they don't like this garden. But anyway, so these blue anemone go perfectly in my blue garden, and we'll see how they are. I didn't realize, I thought they just stayed low, maybe 8 or 10 inches. They get to 36 inches, it says, so they're gonna get pretty high, which will be really beautiful. So I'm excited about that. Okay, so we'll just walk up the messy path here. And I've been working on the steps over here. I think I had showed you in previous videos. But this is what has become of those steps. So I'll turn around and walk down them so you can see. Excuse my mess. Planting some Easter flowers that I got. Some hyacinths. All right, yeah, everything's kind of a mess. Oh look, there's a dandelion waiting to seed everything everywhere. Okay, so you remember this needed to be dug down and made nice with mulch and things. So we dug this down. I'll walk down here. And then we put these stones in just to kind of tie it in with these steps here and those 2 steps there. And then as we were digging, I also decided to extend this little rock wall. I love little rock walls. I feel like different heights in the garden gives it so much character. And it's so, oh, I love it. So I think it also makes it cozier because you have to step down and go, you know, whatever. So anyway, so this path curves over to the bench. Now my goal is to have something grow here that sort of obscures the bench, so maybe you can just see a little bit of it and then you go, oh, what's over here? And I did transplant some larkspur from down in my vegetable garden that reseeded themselves. They're not super happy, but I'm hoping we get rain today and they'll perk up. And I had to dig this area. You can see I transplanted some of this Amsonia. The original bush is here, so I planted some over there, that was the original, and then I planted some here, and it's angry at me for being moved. Just different things. I just moved around. Some things needed more light, like this coneflower was over there, and it's a little shady over there because of the birch tree. And I had to dig this out because there was crabgrass taking over. And I don't think you can ever get all the crabgrass roots out. And just a little tip, if you see, let me show you a root of a crabgrass. See, look at this. Do you see that? If you leave just a little bit, oh sorry, I'm not even showing it to you. Just like a little piece of this, if you'd break off a little piece and stick it into the ground, it would root and go crazy. So sometimes when you're pulling these, it breaks. And you think, oh, I got most of the root. No, you didn't. There's a little piece somewhere that's going to come up, evil thing. So I don't think you can ever get all the roots of crabgrass. I think it's just a matter of staying on top of it. When you see it coming up, get it right away. And then you won't have an invasion where it's horrible and you can't control it anymore. So anyway, my little spiel for now. I planted more larkspur here, working on this area. This is where I'm going to put my shell. Hopefully it'll be a fountain. And I have some plants to go around it, but they're Marguerite daisies, which are not hardy, and it's still kind of chilly. Today is like only 50 degrees. So I'm not ready to put those out yet, and I have to do some weeding over there. What else? So this looks a little weird. This is cement from when we put these things in. And my husband says he'll chip that off for me. We don't want to take it too far back to loosen the rock, but just enough so it doesn't look so weird. And I don't know how to cover there's like a little cliff right there. I'm hoping this plant will kind of cover it. I might put some ground cover that sort of hangs down over to hide that because it looks a little weird, but I'm not too worried about it. So anyway, then we mulched the path and I'm pretty happy with it. And there's a little bird nest that my kids found that had gotten knocked over, and they put it back waiting for probably a robin to come back, and she never came back. And so we decorated with it and these fungus things from where the tree used to sit over underneath the bench. So anyway, I'm down on our little sunken patio, and you can see the path and how it curves around. We are going to be working on putting some plants up there. I'm not sure which, because I don't like a hedge that's all one plant. I really hate that because it's too suburban-y for me. So I like a mixed hedge, mixed with evergreens and with deciduous things. So I have a bunch of stuff I could move up there. I just have to figure it out because we like this to be a private area. And then also the other thing is, sitting here you can see the bench, which I don't love. I'd like that to be a little bit of a secluded spot from this angle anyway. So I did plant, like I said, I planted these larkspur, and they'll get kind of tall, but I think I might end up buying some sort of a hydrangea to put in here because this is kind of a shady spot. And then that will get some height to it. And I even have some I could just move. But I'm like, how big do I want this thing to get? Anyway, I have a lot to figure out, and I'm very indecisive, so who knows what we'll do. But anyway, I just thought I would show you that, and all my plant volunteers that are so wonderful because you can just move them around, and you could make a whole new garden with just plant volunteers. So, yeah. So thanks for watching. I just remembered some more plant volunteers that I didn't show you that I was excited about. Not so excited about this. This is elderberry, where we dug that huge elderberry bush out. But I can dig these up and maybe put them by the road to sell, or just dig them out and throw them away, whatever, or replant them somewhere else. So it's nice to know there's backups if my original dies, which it won't because it's like a thug. But here's that cardoon seedling I was telling you about, right there. And another thing that came up that I'm really happy about, because I struggle to get this started on my own inside. I don't think it likes my conditions inside, so I haven't started it inside. But it's this is dill that reseeded itself. I think it's dill. Every time I smell it, yeah, it's dill. And that's so exciting to me, and there's a lot of it because I like to make pickles. And it's really nice to use fresh dill in your pickles. So I have a little patch right here coming. There's one there. There's another cardoon. Bachelor buttons that reseeded themselves. Larkspur that reseeded itself. Some weeds that decided to reseed themselves. Lots of weeds. But anyway, I thought I'd show you that too. That's really exciting to me. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I made a mistake earlier when I made the video about these plants that volunteered themselves. I called them salvias. They are not salvias. There was a baby one over there somewhere. They're not salvias, and those were the original plants. They're Veronica. So I just thought I should come out here and correct myself because I called them the wrong name. But it's Veronica, I believe. Alright, thanks for watching.